As a matter of fact, if you were to Google one of the speeches that I made in the last couple of years, most likely, but certainly in the last few months, you would find a resounding theme in those speeches of competitiveness. Uh, my goal has always been to make our state the destination of choice for the movers and shakers of the world. You know, if you're a top software designer, we want you to live in this state. If you are one of the best cancer researchers in the world, we want you to consider working at one of our fine hospitals in the state. If you invented a process or a device that's going to corner the market, we want you to manufacture it here. And those movers and shakers already live here. They're in the private sector and they're in the government side as well. Some of them were born here. Some of them got here just as fast as they could. But, I happen to believe that the critical mass that comes from motivated, educated innovators is the sort of thing that drives economies upward and makes for a better quality of life. I recently created what's called the Competitiveness Council. It's a group of leaders from business and education, from government, who are united in their desire to improve Texas by improving our infrastructure, improve the alignment between what's being taught in our schools and what's needed in the workplace, streamlining government, all of those things we're working on. And frankly, that's where you come in and where you can play a very important role in the competitiveness of the state of Texas. As technology experts, I consider you to be the leaders in the work smarter, not harder field of innovation. You're the thought leaders who are going to be able to enable states like Texas to improve our government by making it better, not necessarily bigger. I'm convinced that the efficiencies that come from technology multiply the effectiveness of our agencies. In Texas, business, the business portal initiatives that we have in place, that's a collaborative effort between, I think it's about 30 different agencies that make it easier for businesses to interact with government. Technology also allows us to identify problems more quickly by analyzing trends and data. For example, local, state, federal law enforcement, all along our border, they utilize this technology to look at the trends, look at what's happening on the border security surges that we have been putting in place for the last 18 months in this state. That information that they have at their fingertips now allows them to make better, more thoughtful, more efficient decisions about where the resources need to be implemented, where the dollars need to be spent, where the people need to be. Technology also allows us to personalize the interface between government and the people that we serve. You know, there's 24 million people that call Texas home now. And we need those tools to meet all the needs that they have. Tools like TexasOnline.com. It puts mountains of information, and I might say necessary information, right at the citizens' fingertips, all in a very well-organized fashion. Technology allows us to automate certain processes, allowing us to see and affect the bigger picture. I know that a lot of you are kind of swimming upstream when it comes to getting your ideas across. Let's admit it, government is not the first place to come to mind when you think of agile and fast-moving. But don't give up. You know, I know that sometimes you have these incredible ideas and you want to see them implemented, and sometimes government moves like the Pillsbury Doughboy, kind of not too fast. But I encourage you to persist, I guess, is one of the powerful messages that I hope will stay with you today is don't give up about implementing your ideas, and your grasp of the technology is going to be most likely before anyone else in the agency that you're working with. You're the agent of change, and sometimes change is very hard to be put into place. And realize that you may kind of feel alone when you're trying to convince your organization to try something new, but it's worth the effort. Stay with it. I made a toss away a while ago about Job, but the fact of the matter is, you all are prophets. You're prophets in your organization. You know, when you think about that and kind of look at the biblical context, that title usually conjures up a person who lived alone, lived in a dark cage, ate spoiled food, and shouting at crowds as they walked by, and nobody really understood them. Second thought, that may fit some of you in this audience. You might qualify for that title, but I think of all of you, and I hope all of you will kind of embrace that title of prophet, and the responsibility that goes with it. You're the ones on the cutting edge. You are the ones that have the vision. You know, Jonathan Swift, one of his quotes was that vision is being able to see that which is invisible. You all have the responsibility of not only seeing that, but explaining it, promoting it. You understand the amazing capabilities of the tools that are evolving all across the country. And you may be the only ones who have the ability to convince the people who are in the upper echelons of your agency and of government to choose those tools, and choose those tools wisely. I encourage you to continue to educate yourself on the needs of the organizations that you work with. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to continue to probe and to ask the questions that need to be asked. I urge you to stay current on the best practices that are out there, the new technologies that are coming along, the fresh information. So keep learning. And I hope that you'll never accept the status quo. The citizens of your state have put a lot of trust in you. And, you know, let's all collectively remember that it is their tax dollars that we're giving them our best effort toward. So keep serving. Keep that mentality of service and being service oriented. And finally, realize that what you do really matters. You make a difference.